Howdy. This is my recovery 6-month update. Today's 23rd of November 2022, and 6 months ago I had my operation. So just giving you an update on what's happening. The main thing is recovery is something you measure in months. Days, weeks, forget it. Months. And the reason why you're looking at my legs is an example. Basically, now there's not much difference between my feet and my legs on either side. Now, obviously, the right-hand side, the knee's bigger. Well, that's going to be because it's got to go in for replacement. But basically, the legs are, the definition, the toes is fairly the same, at least from what it was in the past. And before, I used to have a dark brown spot all the way through here. That was basically dried blood under the skin from where they did the surgery. You can see they went in here, here, and up in the groin area. Well, that was still fairly dark 3 months ago. Now, it's basically gone. So recovery is very slow. If you're thinking it's going to happen quickly, now things do happen quickly, but it's like the bone. It took 3 months for the bone to heal, and regardless of what you do, it takes 3 months. And so here it's taking again months. So measure recovery in months. If you think you can speed it up, forget it. It just takes time. The doctor said that, and of course, being an overachiever, expected more, but that's the way it is. Now, most of my scarring is gone, except on the chest where they went in at the sternum. So you go up about 10 centimeters, and there's a bead of scar tissue that's probably 3 millimeters across and about 3 millimeters high. That's still there, and that's the only thing that's really sensitive. The rest is fine. I mean, your chest after a while starts feeling normal. You don't feel like there's a plate in there. It just gets back to feeling normal like it used to. The only thing with the scar tissue on the chest, though, is when I surf, I don't wear a wetsuit if the water's above 15 degrees Celsius. So far, it's been above that, so I have yet to wear my wetsuit. And that rubs on the board because basically the way I paddle is butterfly stroke, both arms as opposed to alternating as in the crawl to get outside. If you're a surfer, you know what getting outside means. And your chest rubs on the board, and so that basically gets bruised or a bit bloody or whatever else, so like a blood blister. Well, that's just part of the course as far as I'm concerned for surfing, because all I wear is Speedos out there. I'm kind of different. I won't say old school surfer, but hey, Speedos are good for the pool, they're good for the beach. Now, the other thing is in recovery, one of the things I've been doing is walking and biking and swimming. So my walking, now I probably, when I walk, I'll do a mile twice a day. If I'm not primary, I go out and swim and bike, but if the elements are such that, or the time situations or appointments or whatever, I'm able to swim or bike, then I walk. And walk a mile now at a brisk pace because I'm able to do it. It's about 20 minutes. And it I don't feel challenged or uncomfortable. Because again, you want to keep your recovery pace, and this is something I must tell myself on a regular basis, is don't overdo it. Keep it moderate. Keep it so I'm not feeling taxed. So I get to almost where I'm feeling, hey, this is hard or starting to get hard, and then I just try to keep it at just below that level. So that takes some concentration. My swimming, I probably said I do 15 100s individual medleys. Before it was 75 minutes. Now it's down to 60 minutes for those. My biking is, again, I go farther out now. And basically, before it was flat, now I have some hills. Not much, they're minor hills. Cross the freeway overpass twice, going out, then coming back. Because basically, I make a loop. Go to a park, take get some water, stretch my calves, get some more water, get back on the bike, and head back. So that's about an hour ride doing that. So I could go more because going on vegan, again, it's been about 2 months doing that. Basically, you don't feel tired when you take a break. But I mean, an hour swimming, an hour biking, twice a day walking for 40 minutes, 20 is 40. That's enough exercise, I feel. Although maybe people say you might want to do 90 minutes. Well, 40 to an hour is fine with me. Now, on biking, before going up hills, long hills, long grades, I ran out of breath. I just couldn't bike. I had to get off. Well, now I can go up those and not necessarily go faster up them, but basically, I guess what's that lactic acid that builds up in your legs? I forget the proper terminology, and your legs start feeling tired. Well, that only happens till when I get almost to the crest. So you really don't feel your legs getting that tired. And then once I crest the hill, because now I'm stopping doing the real pushing, it goes away. So recovery's just right there around the corner. It isn't something you have to wait for. It just, again, being a vegan really helps it. And basically, I cycle. My main thing is cadence. I try to keep it at least 90 RPM. If you're doing 40, you're just using your legs too much. This is my value judgment. 70 is when I start shifting to a lower ring up front or gears in back. Because at 90, my feet float over the pedals. So it isn't that difficult. So that's what I try to do. And one of the other things on recovery, which is very slow, is resolving my erectile dysfunction. Now I'm starting to get feeling down there. So I'm starting to be able to get arousal. And of course, we all know what follows after that. But again, that's something that's very slow in happening. Getting to the arousal point. But then it's also been 6 months since that. And most of that I just attribute to being a vegan. It wouldn't happen otherwise. So that's my update, and we'll see what happens in a couple months from now. Be safe.